Well, hello there. Thanks for tuning in to the Nailsin Ratings, and we're going to visit once again Doctor Who in the episode of It Takes You Away. This one could have been the best of the batch. The premise was interesting. The atmospherics at first were creepy and mysterious, but the weaknesses just beat the living crap out of it and took the life away. It took Doctor Who away. So at the beginning, they're at a scenic tour of Norway. They come across a mysterious cabin that's all boarded up and find a young girl in there who's blind, and her father has gone missing, and she believes they're being attacked by some mysterious monster. So by the way, they get in because the doctor does some breaking and entering. But, so the doctor, we got to investigate this. And they look around, and then Graham and Ryan find this mirror upstairs in the attic that doesn't show their reflections. And there's some funny banter between the two. As always, they do make a great team. They should exploit that more, but they fail to do so. So the doctor discovers, hey, this is a portal to another dimension. So they got to investigate it, and they figure, well, that must be where the girl's father went. So they go in. They leave Ryan behind to watch over the girl, despite the fact that the girl doesn't like him because he suggested her father was a deadbeat and ran away. Which makes sense for him because that's what his dad did. So while they're gone, Ryan discovers that there is no monster. The father had set up a speaker system to make roaring noises to scare the girl to make her stay in the house. So not going to be winning Father of the Year award. And so, but the girl is desperate to follow them through the secret doorway that she never noticed because she's blind. So, but now she knows it's there. She finds her way into it, knocks Ryan out, but he quickly follows her too. Meanwhile, the doctor and the crew have discovered there's this midway from where this dimensional doorway goes. It's called the anti-zone, and the doctor explains, sometimes there's disturbances in the fabric of reality or what have you, blah, 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 and these little zones are created as a result. The set design for this anti-zone was very simple, with lighting and papier-mâché caverns, or whatever they were, but it harkens back to the old days, and with lighting and a few tricks like that, it doesn't matter what the budget is, and it looks fine. They go through it, they encounter this sinister character who's sort of demonic looking and what have you, and you figure, he must be the villain, or he's an alien who got trapped in this zone as well, and nope. That's not what it is. He's just there to kill time, which is really egregious that they did that. So he's there. Apparently he's been eating people there and what have you. As far as they might suspect that he ate the father, he didn't. Then there's also these flesh-eating moths that show up. How'd they get there? I don't know. And they asked the guy, how'd you get here? And he said, I've always been here. Oh, boy. Where did he get his clothes? I mean, I guess he stole it from someone he ate. Why would he wear them? How does he speak? All right, so they go through there. He gets killed by the moths eventually, and they get to what they think is the portal back to the house, and they go through it, but the house looks different, and they realize, so this is like a parallel universe or something. No, not quite. And they find the father, and he's with his dead wife. And they're, wow, what's this about? And then Graham turns around, and suddenly his dead wife is there too. This is Grace, who died in the first episode. And so, wow, this other place somehow recreates their dead loved ones. And so that's why the father says, I can't part with my wife, and for some reason I can't bring her through the portal back home. And the daughter will be all right. She's got food, and the speakers are there to keep her from leaving the house. So when you're looking for PC plots, I'm sure that's one where one will look at, because there's so much of it in Doctor Who that it's Doctor Who's been drowning on PC Kool-Aid for quite a few years now, and so you end up seeing it everywhere. So was that the intent that, let's attack we got to attack some white male that's straight. So it's this guy. But for the purposes of the plot, it's credible in that he pushes himself to that point because he's so depressed and in remorse he can't get over the loss of his wife that the daughter will be okay. So he's a bit of a pathetic man. And he gets lectured a little bit. And, but gee, what's this all about? So, yeah, we want to find out, right? Well, if the show had not wasted time on dumb things like the demon guy who played no real significant role, they might have been able to let the story organically reveal the plot and premise. But instead, they just had the doctor explain it all. And then there you go. Now, she goes on about her seventh grandmother and all that kind of stuff. These throwaway lines that they give the doctor, and this has been going on at least as far back as Matt Smith, is that true, or is the doctor just full of crap? I'm leaning with full of crap. And also at the opening, the doctor talks about, in the future, there's going to be this war between humans and sheep. Yeah, look, you guys are nowhere near Douglas Adams' league, so stop trying to rip off his stuff and his style, because you can't carry it off. So anyway, the premise is that this other dimension is sentient and it wants people to come live with it. And so it lured this man there, and all that. So now it's wanting to keep Graham and all that. And, it destabilizes the fabric of this other dimension. And so, once the Ryan and the girl show up, Ryan never gets there. That's right. He gets stuck with hiding from the moths, and the girl gets in, and immediately she realizes this isn't her mother and gets angry with the father, and then the mother rejects her and throws her back through the doorway. Now, I'm guessing because she's blind or what have you, she's not buying this. I don't know. But of course, you had to have the girl tell the man that he's stupid. So there's that. And slowly but surely, even after his daughter is flung through the doorway, he's still not sure this isn't his wife. So he has to see Grace disintegrate in front of him after she realizes the jig is up. And Graham, he figures it out because Grace doesn't want him to leave, even though the girl told him that Ryan's in trouble. And he's, we can't leave Ryan, and all that sort of stuff. So he figures it out. So he gets zapped back through the door. And then finally, the universe is falling apart, and the doctor once again explains that, it's unstable because we don't belong here. And trying to convince the entity to let the father go. And then eventually it does, because the doctor does something actually heroic where she sacrifices herself, says, look, I'll stay. I have more years of life and details that I could share with you than any of these guys have got. So let him go. And so it does, and the doctor stays with it. But still, with the doctor's presence, it's still just unstable, and it won't last. And so the creature turns itself into a frog. Tee-hee, ha-ha, yeah, it's supposed to be cute. And they have a little discussion about love and friendship, and da-da-da-da-da-da, the end. So, yeah, and remember, don't be mad at mysterious creatures that whisk you away and torture you with ghosts of your loved ones that are long gone and ripping up old wounds. No, it's just misunderstood. Who the hell knows how long it's been doing this? How did the demon guy get caught in there, or did he? Did it create that too? Why? So, yeah, it could have been a lot better. Coulda, shoulda, woulda, but didn't. And who knows what the script originally was, because I keep thinking about that interview with Neil Gaiman where he said, the scripts that some friend of his wrote a script for Doctor Who, and he said it was really, really great, but by the time it got on the screen, it was terrible. So who knows what the filters have done this. This might have been an interesting premise and might have had it more thought out. Because a lot of things just aren't thought out here. And plus, details about why does the doorway appear there. It just happens, and could it be opening up in other parts of the universe? Because it's a universe. It could reach anywhere. So once again, Jodie's performance is weak, but it wasn't the worst part of the show. It's just the premise and plot of this episode was not respected by its production, and I just, for the life of me, don't understand why they do this, and then tack on stuff that took away time that they didn't have to organically explore its premise. Who knows? If the shows were good, the scripts were good, this might work despite the weaknesses of Jodie's performance. It still comes across as forced, a bad imitation of David Tennant, and lacking in passion, so where it's forced and everything's exaggerated, her facial expressions and how she handles the sonic screwdriver. This is the one episode where it made sense for her to handle it the way she did. She when she's taking on the guy in the anti-zone, she holds it like a phaser, like she always does, but it made sense here because she's trying to convince him it was a weapon. So okay, you'll give her that one. But so I went back and forth over this series and wondering if the scripts were good, would it work out okay? Because I'm seeing weakness on the performance of Jodie. Yeah, I think it would, even though she's pretty lackluster and she can't hold the show. She's not like previous doctors who did just that. Again, I'm unfamiliar with Jodie Whittaker's performances in other shows. I've heard that she's done dark stories or depressing characters and that sort of thing. Maybe that's what they should have done with her. I know that's what they're supposed to do with Peter Capaldi as a dark doctor. Then he was, then he wasn't, then he was, then he wasn't. But following him, it might have had some amount of sense that she would be similar in that vein. And that might have worked to her strengths. But instead, just do a ripoff of David Tennant. Well, a ripoff's a ripoff, isn't it? So the dark and depressing characteristics might have worked to her strength again, but then the scripts would still be bad. So, and even when they have a script that has potential, they don't respect it. That's a shame. So it had potential, and the fact that they didn't respect it and it fizzled is more disappointing than a show that was bad to begin with, like Witchfinders, which was just garbage. But I'll give it 3 out of 5 stars, more out of just feeling sorry for the whole damn thing. Yeah, it's a real shame. Could have had a bright spot here. So right now, I guess still the brightest spot was Kerblam. That's about it. The teaser reveals something mysterious for the final episode. Oh yeah, we got one more and then a New Year's special. So really 2, but one more episode for next week. And there's a scene where the doctor says, "Oh, I know that voice. Who could it be? Someone from the Doctor Who show. Remember that show?" It's, 9 episodes in, it'll finally be Doctor Who, will it? Don't hold your breath. Don't hold your breath. All right. Thank you for watching and listening. Please like and subscribe, or don't like, but still subscribe. And check out the link description below. That'll take you to my mini stores that have plenty of goodies for you.